Hey, greetings everyone, it's Gleekon, and I'm back again, bringing you another episode of Lore of Warcraft. Good morning, world. Good afternoon, good evening, wherever the time finds you. This is World of Warcraft, Lore of Warcraft, where we cover everything in World of Warcraft, every single quest, every single bit of published lore. Eventually, I mean, we are 1,300 episodes in, and we have barely scratched the surface of what is involved in this game that has spanned for 20 years. You're looking at Glee Console. She's our shaman. We're doing a World of Warcraft classic walkthrough where we put a kind of a walkthrough spin on every single quest in the game, Horde and Alliance, every possible thing that can kind of pop up and be available for you. We've been working on Silverpine Forest last time. We made good progress in that zone, so stay a while and listen as we continue. Actually, when I was running my Horde character last night, I believe that my pilot Horde character, because I also do the same project offline to kind of smooth the kinks out, I learned a lot from our failed. We made it almost halfway through the game, and I learned a lot in that failed. We basically hit a wall, but I sent myself this weapon so we could finally switch over to a two-handed axe. It's a 14.5 DPS. It does go agility and strength, so it's a fantastic weapon for a DPS, but we're losing our potential as a healer. Our melee attack has dropped to 1, so we're going to need to kind of grind out some levels now that we can use two-handed axe, but our overall damage went to 23.5, so pretty good. A few points of DPS, and that should hopefully raise as we level up. But yeah, so for those of you that are new additions to the show, I'm going to just... Should I save this? I'll save it for a little bit and just kind of see how it goes. We got to remember to skin, too, because I think we forgot to do a lot of that last time. I believe... So our options are to go to the Fenris Isle and kind of work around there, but also to work our way down to the Dalaran mages and start killing some of those. I think we'll do that. So for people that are new to the show, basically I ran this project already. Well, we've been doing it since whatever we started in the ancient times. The shows for early episodes 2.5 years ago were mostly reading, because a lot of the prehistory in the lore hasn't been covered in game really per se. Some of it may be done in small playable missions or in-game lore objects, but that's about it. The history is really unfolded in a lot of the print material. We also played through Warcraft Orcs and Humans, Warcraft 2, Warcraft 3, the expansions of those games. So we have some... we had a lot of time. I think it was almost a year before we even hit World of Warcraft. So then for the past year plus, we've been trying to complete World of Warcraft Classic, because by far this is the longest game, the most involved game. It's the original universe. By default, geographically the size makes it significantly 5 times plus bigger than any of the expansions. Then the pace of the game is so much slower. Also, it's more unforgiving. There are less mechanics to juggle, but the overall process is a little rough. There's a mage hiding in there somewhere. It's a Dalaran protect. It's not a mage, it's a protector. So I want to go ahead. We're going to start fighting these guys. I think with our... See, he just put some snakes up, but with our lightning shield, hopefully the snakes will kill themselves. We just keep that going. Okay, so we've gone through... We're now working as though we were a level 2. I like to think of it like that. He's re-summoning his snakes again because he's a jerk. But again, I believe those snakes will kill themselves. They are killing themselves in an almost thorn-like fashion on my... Okay, so now we've worked up through level 2. We're treated as though we were a level 3. And we are... I guess starting to be able to hit a little bit. Not really, though. Yeah, there you go, a little bit. Which is actually shocking. So now we've worked through level 3, and it's like we were a level 4. So that took time, but that's, of course, to be expected. So now it is as though we were a level 4 character, We did not get the pendant that we need. We're hunting these people for pendants. There is a reason. I'm just going to try to isolate, do them one at a time. Our defense is not even caught up to level 21 yet, though, so here's another protector. Let's go after this. I guess I could add another totem. And we finished level 4, so now we're going to be working as though we were level 5. Luckily, the threshold that we're kind of at, only at 21, that's not that big of a gap to come back. So now we've blown through level 5, and now it's though our character was level 6. So we're still 15 levels below where we are, and we're 8 levels below the protector, so we're still beyond where we could consistently actually get hits. Okay, level 6 is now done. Now we're treated as though we were level 7. So again, as you know, as you can see here, we're just barely dinking this guy on the back of the head. We're not consistently actually getting damage. Okay, still no pendant. Probably the mages have a slightly higher drop rate. So when we started doing the World of Warcraft Classic walkthrough, we made it almost halfway through the game. We still haven't caught up to where we were then. But my original ambition, I mentioned this a couple episodes ago, the actual permutations of what could exist is you would need somewhere in the ballpark of 40 characters to really truly cover every quest in the game, and even then there's a small chance that you wouldn't. But the problem here, and now we're working as though we were level 8, so that's good. The problem with that becomes, how do you manage that? So what I did was, I said, okay, well that's a little extreme. So now we're working as though we were level 9, catching up. And more importantly, now we are within 5 points of these guys. So now we're going to kill them faster. And now I think to elongate this process, I'm going to eschew using the lightning shield now. Okay, we finished level 9. Now it's as though we're level 10. Now, oh, this is a mage also. Oh. Cool. So we're almost halfway there. But what we ended up doing in that was, so what I ended up doing was creating 9 characters. I said, well, let me make 1 of every race and 1 of every class, and there's only 8 races and there's 9 classes, so that did create 1 overlap. I had 2 humans. Okay, and that was all fine. Okay, now we've blown through level 10, we're level 11, now we really are officially about halfway through the journey as we kill these guys. So, what I neglected to think about was a lot, and as the experiment went on, I realized, oh, okay, what this means is, in practice, is that so much of the content will be redundant. So let's say you make a, you make a troll rogue, and you make an orc warrior, which is what we did in practice. Well, now you have 2 characters that are going through all of the Durotar quests, and we finally got our first pendant. We are also working our way through level 12 now. So we are definitely, which is actually probably the appropriate level. People are going to be around level 12 as they start to do this area, if they don't do it crazy like us. So as I'm doing it, I'm like, oh, that means baked into this process is gonna, I have 2 options. We can just expose the viewers to redundant content, like, hey, here's me doing the exact same things I did on the last episode, but I'm going to be doing them as a, as a rogue this time, as a troll. So, I thought that was going to be boring, and I had no one fight me on that. No one was like, no, we didn't want to see that. No, because that's boring. We finished level 13, by the way. We're catching up. It truly is boring. I don't want to fight 2 right now when I'd have to use magic too much. Not that that's bad or anything, it's just, That's not the goal. Whoa, look at that hit. See, this is where the DPS... But now we're in level 14. So, I definitely don't want to fight 3. There's one right there. Maybe I'll fight 2. If I'm going to hit him like that, why not? Oh, I am fighting 3. Let's go ahead and use my totem. Use my strength totem. Okay, we got... we're working as though we're level 14. Yeah, that snake. Yeah, this the snake will at least kill itself. I'm scared. Yeah, I'm scared about what that fireball is going to do to me. Okay, so they're a little bit lower. Oh, this one's actually worth XP. So I've now worked my way. Now I'm starting as though I was level 15. And ooh, we gained a couple. Now we're starting to get into the point where I don't want to fight all those 3. I mean, obviously it was doable. Maybe if I come in here with a... If I come in here with like a... I'm not seeing the effects of this totem. Oh, yikes. Ah, crud, I should use a potion, but I couldn't remember where it was on my hotbar, so I did get myself killed. And I came in there with my stomp. I should have saved it for when I truly needed it. That's a bummer. Yeah, that was just poor play by me. Namely, poor play in the sense that I forgot where the heck I put my potions on this character. Because on my druid, most of my characters I'd like to keep potions somewhere down here, but the shaman's got such a busy toolbar compared to the other classes. Yeah, so I realized the content would be redundant, and massively so. So even minimizing the redundance on my part, what happened was we're going through these zones very linear. So like we took a person through Tirisfal, then they went into Silverpine, then they went into Hillsbrad, and da-da-da. And as I'm seeing right now, as I kind of do my dry run through Hillsbrad, I have a character that is completionist who started Hillsbrad at 32, and by the end of Hillsbrad, she's still going to be below the level of some of the quests and needing to team up for some of the elite quests. We've kind of worked our way into Ambermill a little bit. That's probably why it started to get a little tougher. What we did the first time we did Hillsbrad is we had we had a Forsaken Warlock going through it, and I mean, he was in the 20s, and there was some grinding going on for sure, and by the end of it, he was probably around 28 or so, but it was long and challenging, and then where do you go from there? So the problem with this game is it's kind of, unless you have, and I might have talked about this on the last episode, your options are, at some point you've got to grind. That's it. There's no other second half of that coin. You can choose what that grind looks like. Now the grind might be that you do PvP over and over again. The grind might be you run dungeon after dungeon after dungeon over and over again. The grind might be that you do what we're doing, which is the quest. We grind quests. And by that I mean we go and we do every quest in the game. Stupid snake is after me. So that's just our choice of grind. We got a Dwarven Hatchet. That's a main hand single-handed axe. I don't think we can use single-handed axes, can we? Maybe we can. Oh, yeah. Alright, so we are almost done as a level 15, so we're catching up. We have 5 pendants. Mana's low. 2 Dalaran mages coming up the path here. Let's go for it. I keep lightning shield on, should be okay. Yeah, let's start earth shocking those bad boys. They might want to run. Yeah. Got a shadow one that I can't use. Let's bring this snake out to play. Alright, but in that whole fighting those two, we gain nothing in terms of... So now the mobs are not quite high enough to level us. We're sort of kind of... So we're not gaining an advantage to hit. We're just kind of sitting where we're at. That's okay too. I mean, we're gaining a little bit. It's like basically they're green. Other defenders gonna come join the fray. So, basically, despite all that, it might have been worth it, but we still, I only had 9 characters. There was still a certain level of quest we wouldn't get. You know, it's just how it goes. You're just not going to get some of the different permutations. You know, we weren't going to get the different faction versions of some of the other classes, which is big. That's probably the most notable one. But, you know, there's little things, too. You're not going to get to see the difference between an Orc Warlock and a Forsaken Warlock. And there are quest differences, as we discovered a few episodes ago. So then now it's becoming, you know, now it's arbitrary. We've decided to make all these characters, and and because of that redundancy and me having to do it all offline, I'm devoting more time than I devote now to, because right now I devote basically all my free time of gaming, 90% of it, goes to doing the dry runs on this show. And eventually that will probably ease up because I'll get far enough ahead that I'll have a choice to either move into the next expansion or stop. But also the new, you know, the new war. I honestly don't even know. Of course I'm gonna buy the new expansion. I don't even know if I'm gonna play it. I'm on the fence. Part of me, of course, wants to play it. I am excited to see what it holds. It's not that I wouldn't be playing it at a protest or disliking the franchise. It's that I'm so into this project that we're doing, and kind of like the idea of just progressing in that sense. And I haven't done the last little round of this recent whatever, the last update. Like, I did everything through the Emerald Dream. I like to at least do the stories, but now as I'm kind of shifting away, part of me thinks it might be cool to experience some of these stories for the first time ever, but then do I want to wait and never play that game for years? Nah, I don't want to. So I probably will end up just playing when it comes out. What's this guy do? This guy is talking about he works at doing lighting for concerts, and it's actually funny because one of my best friends, that's his job too. He does lighting. He works as like a lighting guy, basically freelance works. Yeah, it's kind of funny that this is maybe like the only other person I've seen talking about. Alright, so, let's turn in this Dalaran pendant thing.
Forsaken. We must hurry. Their plans must not come to fruition, or we may lose our hold on Silverpine Forest.
Dalad has found that the weaving is quite far along, despite the setback. A wizard of great power is guiding the magic energy. He must be stopped quickly. Archmage of Great Power is overseeing the reactivation of the Ley energy node. With the progress they have made, our only hope of stopping them is by killing him. It will be difficult. He is no doubt protected by many other mages and warders. You must go, and you must dispatch him quickly. When he is dead, retrieve his staff for me. Go now.
Remember.
Alright, so, the Weaver is probably the toughest other, like, non-Fenrisile quest. So you have to make our way back into the castle we were just at and kill the leader, but it's still fine. We'll be able to do it. But we have some time. So basically, to the south here, we have now to kill the Ravenclaw people. We also have the staff, and we have that guy's hand. So we'll go get that as one batch, but we're going to work our way through the first phase of the Isles on this one. And I want to... Optical engineer, biology research instruments called flow cytometers. I guess that's cool.
Be quick about your business.
Let's sell all this junk we don't need. I think we're good. I'm selling the Staff of Orgrimmar. Don't care. Do we even need the heavy? No, we're good on linen. We're never going to need that again. Let's sell those as we get them. We're a leather worker. Do I need the tiger's eye? Okay, maybe I'll actually buy that back. I don't remember if we need that. Okay.
Trust me.
Cool. Alright, so now we're going to go out to Fenrisile. I like this axe. I found this axe, and I saw it as soon as I got it on my other character, my druid. I was like, ooh, this has what's-her-name's name written all over it, and I saw that it was low enough that she could use it. So I felt like I would feed my girl here and give her an axe. But yeah, so basically, as I started to realize, well, now this is arbitrary, and I still stuck with it, and I would sit home with kind of some spreadsheets and plot out the time I would need. When could I accomplish certain things? How much time would I need to devote, and try to make myself stay on a schedule, because it would just, and as the game kind of dovetailed, up to where Alliance and Horde are more and more doing a lot of the same content, then you're really like, oh man, like I need to run Nomergon 9 times. And I was skipping out on the dungeons, but then the level gap started to be really bad. So as I was progressing into the zones I wanted to cover, and we started to see that on some of the last episodes, we would spend an entire episode hopefully doing one quest, because it was a life and death experience to kill every mob. We were fighting mobs that were 5 levels higher than us on every quest, and just wasn't sustainable. It wasn't fun. We don't have any of our water walking or water breathing yet, I don't believe. So we're gonna have to swim like peasants this time. Attack me. Okay. Ooh, you know what? I don't know. What's our fishing sitting at? 100, and it should be 105. So we're gonna sit on this dock right up here and do a little bit of fishing. We need to do that. We got 5 points of fishing we need to do. Look, there's a sagefish school. We can fish. Okay, we can cook sagefish. It's a good one. So we'll get up on this dock. We'll fish this sagefish, and then we'll keep fishing for a few. So, we basically, all of these things kind of came together, where I couldn't ignore the fact that this still was not a true completionist experience. The arbitrary nature of it all really hurt. 2, it made for so much time that I was having to either just plan this ridiculous amount of time, and I was having to bounce and go back and forth and slow down and create some kind of arbitrary reading episodes or skip days a lot, just to stay on top of. Whoa, that one had a lot of stuff. An 8-slot bag. I will take that. So let's go ahead and swap the brown one with the Kodo, and then we'll put this. Okay, so we got that. We got some more leather, which we just like that. And we got a medium leather, I'll take it. And then this stuff is all sell. That's all schlock we can sell. We don't need the linen bolts or anything, but that was actually a good chest. And then cap it off with, we started bottlenecking our leveling experience. And so we were, again, going to be stuck with, do I make these episodes where I grind out levels? Do I do them off camera? I did both. I tried it both ways. And then that begs the question, what are we here for? Are we here for an experience, or am I here for the lore only? I mean, obviously we want both. So then, as I started to kind of answer the own question, I kept thinking the idea of, man, it would be nice to do this right. And I thought, okay, so in my back pocket was, I am going to do this right. What I would like to do is more systematically run through everything on sort of one character that will eliminate all of these issues, because I won't have any redundant time. Everything can be on camera. We won't bottleneck, because you don't bottleneck when you grind quests. And we can just address the arbitrary loss of some things by covering it like we've been doing. We got another mana potion, and I don't know what else we just got. That was it. Some money. Oops, some more sagefish right here has spawned. Weird spot. So the plan was, okay, well, I was going to do that when I did Burning Crusade Classic. Actually, I was going to skip Burning Crusade Classic startup quests, and I got some flack in the comments, which is, they're like, dude, how can you call yourself a lore show if you're going to skip, you know, valuable quests and not cover everything? How can you say you're going to cover everything if you don't cover everything? Okay, fair enough. That's the valid point. So we're going to play Burning Crusade Classic, and we're going to play it from the start. And we'll replay everything. Well, since now we're replaying all of the same material we've already played, okay, well, that's going to be a little bit redundant, but we can add some spice into it by doing it another way. We can, and that's when I started envisioning this kind of walkthrough that we have right now, where I said, this is how I would truly play if I was playing on my own, and maybe I could provide a service. I could provide a spreadsheet, I'd have this video, and then plus I'd also be providing this organic Let's Play kind of experience where we're going through the entire game from start to finish as a completionist. Maybe that doesn't exist out there. My verbal diarrhea that I constantly have, that's maybe some people will sit through that. Got some Rumsey Rum Light, but we had our fishing. I'm not even going to finish fishing that node. But we got some interesting things fishing out of this water. This is a pretty cool fishing spot. Alright, so now we need both the Rothhide Ichor from these gnolls, but we also need to kill some other things too. We need to kill the... Well, so these guys are a little higher level, so now we just finished 16, we're working as a level 17. I don't want to pull both of these if I can. I'm still leveling up my stuff. So then, of course, they make the announcement that... Ooh, I'm also one level away from learning how to get rid of curses. Kind of lame. So then, early in this process, they make the announcement, oh, guess what? We're closing down Burning Crusade servers. There won't be any. It's just going to be Wrath of the Lich King servers. So, I had an existential crisis at that point in time, but then I was like, you know what? I can still access the content. It'll be okay. We'll survive. And I lied to myself and said, Wrath of the Lich King is so dope, it's never going anywhere. That's such a great expansion, they would never hurt that one. And a lot of people lied to themselves in that same manner. Well, no, that's not what Blizzard's vision was. And instead, you wind up with
the announcement towards the end of last year that I think I pulled both. Yep. The announcement that we are that Wrath servers would be shut down and we'd be going full Cataclysm. Well, that was a big deal breaker for me, because now not only are we shutting down, but now there is no possible way. That was, I think, the straw that kind of broke my resolve. If I'm the metaphorical camel in this situation, because now there would not be an opportunity to do it right. I couldn't, because all of the quests would disappear with the destruction of the Wrath of the Lich King servers. We could still do the expansion content in retail, or in Cataclysm or wherever. We could still access it, but the world would have changed. You could no longer access these quests. So with that, I was like, okay, well now I can either plow forward, or the only way this is ever going to get done with that vision that I had in mind would be to restart. And so that's what we did. So that's why we are here, where we wasted over a year of time of this show. So probably half the life of this show has been quote-unquote a waste, which is unfortunate. We experienced, we learned, but those are like going to be, in the grand scheme of things, kind of like the lost years of the show, because they're or like the beta. It's like a game that stays in beta forever. And I hope that this show, that I improve my craft and I get better. We just finished level 17 with the hammer, so we're catching up. Still not caught up to the level of these guys, but we're getting something. We need to go down to the island here, but I think I'm gonna have to kill my way up in here some, because we need that Ichor, and I want to have that done before I move forward. Don't want to team up on this Troll Hunter. Just wants gnolls. There's plenty of gnolls. There's no need to even think about competition. It doesn't really work like that. They're just so stinking bitty. Oh, I didn't even see that guy right there. He'll pull a couple. It's kind of like we're helping each other a little bit. Okay, get some healing going on. And yeah, we're just barely starting to work out as a level 18 now with our weapon. Did get an Ichor. That's good. I don't remember. We could make our way over this side if we wanted, because there is there's the quest. We could try to pick it up while we're out here, so we don't have to do it later. So we're just going to kind of like be symbiotic with each other. We're not on the same team, but we can help each other out by kind of splitting the workload a little bit. Alright, so it says it's over there, resting in pieces. Oh, you have to get his head inside the castle. So it's not the exact same thing. I remember now. We've got to go indoors. And we'll try. We could try to fight our way in there a little bit. Why not? We need to fight these guys anyway. Maybe try to get that piece going. Alright, so we'll fight these two savages. They're a little tougher. They're level 19. Gotta get this going. I refreshed that lightning. Yikes. They just add that on there so much. Yeah, let me just try to hit him with some of this magic here. Yeah, that's a little bit too intense with our axe level as low as it is, and not really at our full potential. He'll probably run. No, he doesn't. Savages don't run, I guess. We did get an Ichor out of that, so that's good. We do have this Sengen root we can eat on, too. I want to make my way up. Yeah, I want to draw it. I don't particularly want to team up with that troll, I just... Just kind of want to mess around. I don't have any buffs to offer him, or her. She didn't have any buffs to offer me. She'll go left, I'll go right. I actually think it might be easier to go right. I don't remember 100%, but... Oh, I just got hit with the curse. That was an instant one, too. Jerks. That's a Nicker. That's good. So, I hear somebody. So I want to kind of be safe. Yeah, so let's say there's... Open up this. Quick heal off. Jeez. He just hits you so much. That really, like, works on that interrupter. It does make him proc the lightning shield as much as possible. But jeez Louise. Alright, I'm gonna eat one of these. Actually, we'll eat one of our clam things right now. With a milk combo, we'll do that. Really, all I want to do is make my way over to the resting in pieces part of the quest. Can't remember where that dude's head is. Oh, it's on a Rothhide Brute. Let's look it up. They might spawn in a bad way. Resting in pieces. I don't really think it is a drop quest. Let's see what the comments say. Drops from Rothhide Knolls. Oh, so he does. So he just drops from any Rothhide Knoll. It says Rothhide Brutes. So I don't need to go in. That's, I guess, good to know. But I guess we ideally want to fight Brutes. There's a Brute. It is. So it's the Brutes specifically that Questy has tagged as being the ones that can drop it. So that's what we're going to be looking for. We don't need to go into the castle for that. We need the Ichor anyway, so let's try to fight Brutes where we can. That's the... I guess that's the goal. It is a drop quest. Okay. I don't like the fact that this guy's coming up on me. He doesn't drop it. Okay, good. So when they made that announcement, then I was like, oh, that's it, all bets are off. I was already kind of really losing passion because of all the issues that I mentioned before, and that's a deal breaker, you know, when you get when you have that happen, a project like this does really require a belief in everything that you're doing. It requires... There we go, we got the head. Fantastic. It requires that sort of passion, you know? Gotta have it. So, we did get that, which is great. You know what? I just realized we missed turning in part of this thing, too. We finished the... what was it? Maybe the Ambermill Investigations was the one we finished? So that was when we just finished, and then that picked us up. The Weaver. Okay. Right. Oh. It's alright, we have the thing that we really need. Now we can work on going and turning in that bad boy in just a second. I used the wrong thing, and now I got cursed. We got 6 of 8. So, I don't... Husbands... Yeah, we got the Weaver. Okay, cool. And then now we just picked up this quest, so let's read it.
You don't look like a rothide. Good. I had lost hope. My name is Alaric, and I was once Thul's head servant and bodyguard. He used his magic to protect me from the plague of undeath, but instead, his spell gave me an unlife from which I cannot escape. After creating the cursed Rawhide Gnolls, Thul beheaded me and gave my head to the Gnolls as a plaything. Please take me to my body. I believe the Gnolls buried it here in Fenris Keep, near the stable in an unmarked grave.
Okay, so now we'll go there, and this is called Resting in Pieces, right? Or a Resting in Pieces. And we will work our way down there for that. Looks like that's just what they went and did. Let's go there before it. And it's part of a chain, actually. Yeah, we do have 7 of 8 now. So it looks like he fought his way back here, which is good for us. We can kind of, like I said before, drift in his wake. He kind of stayed away from these edges. Okay. So we'll fight the Plague Weaver here. Be ready to interrupt if we need to. Push the wrong button. Okay, here's another Plague Weaver, and this is where we turn the quest in, which is great. Ooh, that was a nice hit. Perfect. Alright, so we got our final thing. This grave was hastily dug.
Thank you, Gleekensole. I had feared the Gnolls destroyed my body. It's good to know they did not.
The hidden niche.
I know of a hidden niche within the keep that holds an item dear to Thul and his old colleagues. It also holds something you might find useful. Take me there. The alcove is in the southwestern tower of the keep behind a dusty shelf. Take my body, but leave my boots. They never fit me anyway. Those boots that are sitting on top of that grave. Alright, so we just got... We'll have to kind of go out to do this. Now we're done fighting in here. For now, we got to fight our way back in anyway, so I'm actually not going to fight my way into the keep right at this second. I want to turn in some of this stuff and continue working on the island. But we completed Resting in Pieces and we gained the hidden niche. So let's kind of look there. We have Resting in Pieces, which is a oh my gosh. Dang it, he was too... It's a little bit faster. I've noticed this with some of these spells, particularly that Curse of Thul. It's a little faster than what the bar indicates. Okay, so first of all, we got to know that this would be a drop. We got to note that. Okay, so Resting in Pieces as a drop. We've actually finished that now. We can add that onto our list. Pick up and finish. And then we gain the next one, which is called the hidden niche. So yeah, so then now we've redone everything with this quest line. With this game, and it's created this redundancy, which I feel bad about. It's created a sense of waste of time, which I hate. But at the same time, this is a much more... One, it's more authentic to how I actually play. This is something that I would do on my own. And it's overall going to kind of give us a slightly different experience because we have one hero that's sort of going through all of the lore on each faction. And that's kind of cool. And we'll, since it was already arbitrary about who we were covering, well, now we'll just cover the other things in a different way. Now, when we hit retail, our options will be open to us a little bit because the level cap on quests doesn't really exist in the same way. We're essentially going to need at least 2 of every class anyway. We're going to need 2
we're gonna need a class of each faction. So, not counting evokers. Okay, so right now we're killing these things. We need different kinds of moss from them. I don't know where we're at with our weapon leveling up. 92, so we're as a level 19 character. Okay. I think we can, I think my magic has been good enough that I can speed things up by hitting these guys up with some extra spells. At least hitting them with one shock at a time. So my hope is that I'll be a little faster. You know, in that year and a half, I also, because of the outside time constraint, we were making a lot of episodes. You know, half of our episodes were reading. I was missing a lot of days because I was, you know, between work and everything, that I was confined to trying to kind of catch up after the fact. I have another curse. Oh, my moss-covered hands. So I'm trying to go through faster, and I think we're being successful. Because we've only been doing this project for... we started maybe mid-March. So 2.5 months, and we're up here, so not like lightning fast or anything, but faster than we were going, I would say. Any reading that I've been doing right now that's supplemental is I've been trying to double up on those. That's another thing that I've been thinking about. How I'm going to handle the art episodes. So I'm kind of torn right now because for the rest of these art books, I've recently got the next one, which is a 2015 kind of nice quality hardcover, hard to find book. It's not in production anymore. But it was like $50 to get that book. Some of them, the one after that, I'll be able to cover. It's actually, I believe, covering the art from the movie, the live-action movie that came out. That one is you can actually get it in an ebook form. But I've done some kind of cursory research, and after that we'll have the Art of Legion, and oh, I don't need those guys, those particular ones. I do need these little murlocs. There's a chance. It's a rare drop rate. But now that you get into the Art of Legion, the Art of BFA, the Art of Shadowlands, they haven't really had the same amount of time to hit the open market, like the eBay scene. They are really a lot harder to find. I have not had any success finding anybody out there that has, like, uploaded them in the same way that the other ones have been. Probably because the popularity of the game is maybe not exactly where it once was. So, but even that, I don't know why. Maybe it's just that they've been around less. It's harder to find them. Entering recirculation. I don't know. I don't have the full. I think about what I want to eat. I'll just eat one of my roots. I'm not sure why, but they're very, very hard. The newest ones like Shadowlands and Dragonflight, it basically costs as much as the whole freaking extended edition. Like, they're over $100 to find a copy. Some of them are like 150, and sure, with more research, I might be able to find some cheaper versions. But most of the time, it's $50 if you're lucky, $75. So I'm gonna do them one way. I'll bite the bullet and do it one way or another. That's not the point of what I'm saying. The point is also it's taking us out of the order of the game. So do I want to start keeping covering art? That's so far past where we are. Is that weird? It's not really lore, so how does that, you know, kind of make us feel? Or should I save them and cover, like, for instance, I've recently finished processing with the Wrath of Lich King cinematic art. That ship sailed. We're already halfway into that. I'm going to finish that book. But I processed and uploaded it. I have ready to go Warlords of Draenor. But do I want to run that, or do I want to save that for when we get to Warlords of Draenor? What would be kind of cooler? I can see a valid argument for both. And then if I wait, then I would move on to some of these other things. Because there's plenty of non-canon material that we could cover. There are a few other lore books and art books that we could cover that aren't in the timeline. And then I have a project, and I haven't decided if I'm going to do this as regular episodes or if I'm going to dabble in the YouTube Shorts world. But, whoops, I forgot to mute my phone. But I thought about doing like a short series where I cover the in-game lore books. It's each one, but I don't know. Not all of those can be covered in a true short fashion. But maybe just because I think for shorts you have to be under, I don't know, what is it, under 2 minutes or something. I don't know how YouTube Shorts works. I'd have to look it up. But some of those books might take us longer than that to read. But there's tons, and then I could make a little. I'm gonna do it. I just don't know what format I'm gonna do it in. So we have those, and that can take us through a little while too. We have some like in-game or like Wowpedia type of thing, like the story so far. There are dev roundtable things I want to discuss, but most of those do not begin until around Wrath of the Lich King. Uh-oh. Oh, man. Got one. Oh no. Glad we got out of there. Got a pop potion. Are you freaking kidding me? Did he resist my stun? No, thank goodness. Whew. This is gonna be tight. I don't think I can do it. Yeah, he didn't get taunted by that. Oh no. Thank goodness. Oh my gosh. Woo! I truly thought I was gonna die. Let's eat one of these roots again. I had no mana for anything. I can't believe he resisted the taunt. Summons that taunts creatures within 8 yards. I don't know why he did not. I guess maybe he resisted it. By the way, we are now working as though we're level 20 with our axes, so we are now almost fully caught up to where we should be. We just killed a few murlocs. Of course, none of them are dropping what we need. Buttholes. Nope, and these clams are forcing us to open our bag space. That was a close call for sure. Anyway, so I guess any of you longtime people out there that listen, if you want, go ahead and oh, there we got the tumor. Let me know in the comments if you have an opinion, if I should stay the course with the art books since we've begun it, or should we put a pause and try to keep even the non-canon lore relegated to whatever the expansion that it's part of. So, for instance, don't do the Warlords of Draenor book until we're actually covering the stuff from that game. And we still have other things that we can cover in the meantime. We still have plenty of other content that we can do as a sort of a side project as we continue to work our way through the game. And we will eventually, you know, unlock lore that is part of the game itself. As we hit the expansion, I believe once we get to be high enough level to do Maraudon, that's our next big thing we're kind of going towards. So we'll work on Desolace, you know, in the next few months. We'll get to that. We never did that zone, so I am happy when we do finally get there. We'll be hitting up content that's new. I'm not quite there myself, to be honest. Magic effect. I wonder, can I? Only purge it from others. I wish that purge worked on yourself. If you get a magic effect like that, it'd be cool. Yeah, so we were kind of in that zone now. Like 1,000 Needles, I bumped back. We had done a lot of 1,000 Needles quests, so there is going to sort of be this zone where I'm starting to kind of do things in a new order, and so we'll have a couple things we had already covered that aren't done. Well, we'll be covering some new stuff, but I'm not even there on my trailblazing episodes yet. So we have some time to go. Like I said yesterday, I was on the episode. I was kind of mapping out how far I thought we could get. Next, whatever. Which I think we can get. You know, I think we've got room. We can get a decent. We can make some good progress. But even with that good progress, like we were really probably done with the 3rd phase and working our way into the 4th phase of the game, because like I said, we were about halfway done. And what lies on either side of that line is sort of a matter of opinion, especially since I'm kind of making up the phasing tiers, or again, like arbitrarily, my own system. So we're getting a little low on mana here. So right now we're hunting the rest of these creepers for their tumor, their moss. And we already have tumor. This is all for the next step of a recipe for death. Entangling me. Oh, he failed. Yeah, I'm gonna drink that. Actually, I'll eat another one of my roots. After this quest, like I said, had some RNG to it, so this is probably going to be the last one that we do, and then we'll go back and turn them in because we're getting close to time. We still need 4 more of these, and the drop rate's kind of low. But that's good. We made good progress. I'm actually pretty pleased with what we've done, even with a silly death that I had in there. What's this? That's one down. Solanor said. Oh, what's a quest item? I don't even know what that is. Yeah, so I do. I am looking forward to. It's naughty language. Naughty. So this quest, yeah, if you remember, we found that book in the Pyrewood Village that I guess it wouldn't even matter if I did interrupt him. Found the book in the Pyrewood Village that was a dude, I can't remember, but he was looking into the reason why, I guess, all the aquatic life in Lordamere Lake was eradicated by some plague. So he started investigating the creatures around Lordamere Lake, and he found murlocs, and he saw that one had this gross tumor, and he wanted to investigate the tumor. And then he saw that these creatures were also freakish, and he wanted to look into some of their moss. For some reason, we can't get a good moss sample off of most of them, which is unfortunate. And that's what we're doing. I guess because we want a plague that's going to be better used on... I don't even remember who this plague's for. Let's roll agility. Guess I can toss the silver leaf. Oh, he resisted my fire. Yeah, so right now I think we're right at about time, but I don't want to leave myself out here on this island. We only need 2 more mosses. Oh. I think if you do Ghost Wolf form, it does break you of those kind of effects. Usually, like, transformation things do that. Okay, we need to eat another one of our roots. We only need one more... we only need one more little... whatever they're called. We are getting closer and closer to leveling up, which is also good, though. So that's good, because we know that we are... At 24, we have some things to cover, but we know we're trying to catch up to our homegirl, who is, I believe, 26. So I want to close that gap as much as possible. I don't think the gap is ever going to be closed. Now that I'm in Hillsbrad, I believe on the pilot run, my Alliance character is level 36, and they haven't even started doing the Alliance quest because it's a much harder zone for Alliance than it is for Horde. It's a higher level, but you can do some things in the mid-20s if you're Horde, but you really want to be in the 30s before you go to Hillsbrad as an Alliance, so totally different experience. Oh, they got us. But my Horde is only level 32. Well, I think just hit 33. So there's still a 3-level gap, even this part. And Hillsbrad, I guess, because I was trying to figure out, I think we talked about this in the last episode, maybe, or the one before, trying to figure out where is this gap closed? Because you would think that you would want the leveling experience to be similar for Alliance and Horde as a game developer. All right, we got them all. You know, and part of that gap closure happens on. I can't wait till we get water walking. Part of it happens on. Ooh, look! You hear us getting hit. Dogs we are. They dropped a healing ward on themselves. I guess we must have had one. Oh no. As far away as I can. I wish I had a hot. Oh my gosh. I got hit. I must have still had the, I guess I'm gonna just take the res sickness. Because we are done questing, and I'll just, like, when I log out, I'll leave it on so that our res sickness expires. But we'll pay for this. So we'll turn in the quests that we had. That was unfortunate. But I guess we can afford it some. I don't know, we don't have that much gold, and anyway, we have Rot Hideacre, a recipe for death, hidden niches elsewhere. Yeah, so we have those 2 to turn in. So we'll turn in Rot Hideacre.
That better be good.
Do you have the Rot Hideacre we can solve?
Very good. This ichor will help us understand the nature of the rot hides and may show us their weakness, if they have one. I have reduced the ichor you brought me and separated it into its base components. My findings are not conclusive, but I have determined that warlock and necromantic magics were used in the ichor's creation. While I continue to study the ichor, I want you to take a sample to Bathor Ishard in the Undercity. Bathor is not an apothecary, but his knowledge of magic may help to unravel the mystery of the rot hides. Go. You will find Bethor in the magic quarter of the Undercity.
Well, and you know what? We're going to hit 22 right now anyway, so... Where is the other one supposed to be? Is the other one... Do we turn in the other one in Undercity? We do. The Recipe for Death is an Undercity quest. Not to mention, we... Oh, goodness. Alright, so that's where we'll log, because then we're going to also need to go to Orgrimmar and then come back. Super, super, super annoying. And I can't just port to Undercity right now because we are still 300 XP away, and I've taken the res sickness, so we've got to go to Undercity first. But we'll do that on the next episode. I'll fly there at least in the off time, and this is it. Due to the way that it's flowed, we sort of are going to end it right here. We have another episode in the pipe, 5x5. Thank you so much for listening to my rambling. I hope to get better and be more entertaining in the future. I'll see everybody next time on Lore of Warcraft. Thanks, everyone. Bye.